My name is Christine Reujan. I'm the responsible of the program of the Master 2 in Fashion and Accessory. And this is the Master graduation year. Together with Julie Cholon, who is a current Master student, we will present the entire program and give you some insights to the program, to the board of guest lectures we invite, to the infrastructure, and we will look together into the future of possible future path. Thank you very much, Julie, to you for being here and share this presentation.
Thank you and welcome everyone.
Yes, thanks. This presentation will be held in English. However, it's absolutely no problem to respond or translate in French or even in German. Questions in regards to the admission can be typed into the chat function, and Maeva Mourlan from the study offices will respond to them directly in the chat. However, you can also ask questions in the chat function, and we will try to scan and follow up and respond to your questions directly. Okay, I will now share our little presentation on the screen. And before we will look closely to at the program, Julie takes you through our historical building and the infrastructure of our department in fashion, accessory and bijou. Let me now share the screen. Okay, again, a warm welcome. I hand over to Julie.
So I'm going to present to you where we work on a daily basis, when you study in the Master of Fashion and Accessory Design at La Haye. So we study in this building, which is the former building of the School of Arts and Industrial Design. It is 2 minutes away from the central Geneva train station, so it's super convenient, and it's also like less than 10 minutes away from the lake. So it's also very nice during the summer, and yeah, it's a nice place to work. It's very convenient. And we also have a nice courtyard. There's a lot of exhibitions sometimes being held there. Maybe on the next slide, we can see all the people there's a lot of events sometimes. So it's really nice, even though we mainly work with fashion and jewelry in this building, we get to meet other design students in this building for some occasions. So for the infrastructure we have in the building, we have a nice workshop made of different maybe you can show on the next slide. We have many machines we can work on. We have can you hear me? It's all right. Yes, Christine.
I quickly jump in. Sorry.
Yeah,
I have
tell
a
me.
question. I have a question to Julie and maybe also to our guests. I sometimes have interruptions when I listen to Julie. Do you think that's my interruptions, or is that in general? Do other people also have interruptions? Or maybe simply.
I think it is yours, Christine.
It's
some
mine,
people say
it?
in the chat. Yes.
Great. I don't have any interruptions. People say thank you very much for this reaction.
Thank you.
However, I think it would be nicer to stay on video. I will switch off my video for connection reasons, but we'll stay tuned. And the next question I quickly have, do you see the proper presentation, or do you also see for example, the chat option that I have on my screen? Julie, do you see
for
the
me?
chat?
Yeah, I see everything. I see the chat. I see the presentation as well. perfectly.
No, but you see the chat option of my screen or only yours?
No,
because
only
I don't
what's
know what if I'm
only what you share, like the PDF. I only see the PDF you're showing.
wonderful. Thank you. Then we
Great.
continue on the infrastructure. Great.
Yeah, we have a lot of machines that we can work on, like regular sewing machine. We also have a knitting room, which is super convenient with different knitting machines, depending on what type of knitting you'd like to do and what type of material you used to work with. We also have a leather room, which is also great because we also have workshop and working around leather, which is also great things to work on when you want to do jewelry and accessories. And we also have a very good tissue tech, which is basically like a shop inside the school with great textile that we have for a very nice price. So it's really convenient when you have an idea and you can shop there. It's super nice to have it in store directly in the school. So you also have a really, as you can see on the picture, a really nice atelier and a really nice workshop for jewelry. There's basically you can do basically everything yes, you can do everything with the jewelry techniques you need to do. There's 3D printing. You have a lot of material to work on jewelry, basically. So it's nice. We also have different workshops and pool technique. We have a wood workshop, we have a metal workshop. We also have a photo workshop, printing workshop. And basically these are in the different areas of the campus of Ed Design. So there is different buildings across the city, but it's pretty close. Like it's 10 minutes away from all buildings. So it's super convenient to go there during the day by bike or by bus. And you can basically create anything you want to. You can speak with the people from the workshop and they can help you build what you need to do. So basically anything is possible as long as you have an idea, a project, and you can just go from there. Yes.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Julie, for this first insight of the place, the environment you probably, if you apply, would be working in. Let us now look at the master program, so the educational structure. As you heard before, the master in fashion, accessory, and jewelry is composed of different orientations, so to say professions in one class. So fashion, accessory, and bijou, as well as horlogerie, as I said before, which is in another class. The master program is always composed at head by a creative project and a theory thesis master students write. The master program we have at head is held in French and in English. We are very open to always translate and make things possible. There has never been a problem so far. So students can present usually in their mother language, and we help to translate. It's important to also note that it is 100% education over 2 years, so 4 semesters. Obviously, students can work aside. However, it's your responsibility to be available or present for your project from Monday to Friday. It's therefore 120 ECTS points. And I also summarized the information again with the study tax, which is a 575 Swiss francs a semester. What is very exceptional? Oh, sorry, I jumped one slide too early already. I wanted to highlight what is very exceptional at the Master in Fashion and Accessories at Head in Geneva. I believe we have an exceptional presence of guest lecturers. So these are professionals, experts from the industry, bringing knowledge, but also a network and personal connections into the school, into the program, and work with students. So those are designers working in high-end, interesting fields, professions, from very artistic to commercial. I just name a few. I cannot list everybody, but people working in LVMH, Hermes, Balenciaga, or smaller brands like Otto Linger. They run their own brands like Steve Diger, people who organize over many years festivals, such as the person Jean-Pierre Blanc, but you have also many amazing technical people who bring technical expertise that they gained over many years. You have people that are experts in art direction, that work in magazines such as Novembre, Gentlewoman, journalists, artists, performers. Let me also very briefly just name our team. The master program team is a great team amongst, of course, a bigger team in the department. The head of department is Lutz Huelle. He's running his own Paris brand and is going up and down between Geneva and Paris. The responsible for the Master 1 year, which I'm going to present you very shortly, is Émilie Meldem, who is a designer who worked for Louis Vuitton, Wide Project, Bitter Pilota, and many others before. So she's also bringing a lot of experience from the industry. Myself, I'm Christine, and I was designer at Maison Martin Margiela, Sonia Riquiel, and head designer at Ralph Simmons, or head of apparel at on Zurich in Zurich. So you see that people bringing both expertise, such in industry, but also in pedagogic and also in the academia. The responsible for horlogerie is Valérie Ursenbacher, and the responsible for theory is Aude Fellet, a writer and academic researcher around fashion and cultural phenomena. Great asset also in our team, I don't want to miss to mention, is the assistant of the master program currently, Rafaela Gerhardt, herself a designer focusing on print and having amazing sense for organization and human beings who are in the center, of course, of our department. Second point that I think is exceptional of our program is really the collaborations that we have with companies, magazines, prices, and prices that the department runs and the head has been setting up over many years. We're going to look at them a little bit afterwards. So very briefly, Master 1, so the first year in the Master, is really rooted in deep researching, in a group work and in a collaboration. Collaborations in previous years have been with Hermes, with Pali, with Salomon, or with Novembre magazine. In the second semester, there is an individual project which centers research, but the own development of a positioning and a creative identity as a designer, as well as critical reflection around the own work in a contemporary context. As you see here again, practice, creative practice, and theory is always linked. So in the Master 1, you start obviously with fashion theory, sociology, media theory, and research around all relevant contemporary subjects in context of the sociocultural and sustainability matters. Master students will have atelier d'écriture, like writing studios that train you for your own master thesis that you will have to write in the second semester, in the second year of the master program. Oh, sorry, I forgot to mention that on this picture, which was the group project, you find in the center Julie, who is with us today. That's a second slide of the Master 1. I jump now on the Master 2 program. The Master 2, so the graduation year, consists of 4 aspects. a creative project, which is usually a collection or a range of objects, a statement, so a positioning as a designer or as a collective, if you work in a collective. Number 3, image creation. Number 4, a presentation, which can be a performance or installation. Very brief, I summarize what is the objective. The objective of this graduation semester is really to present a unique design positioning with a very clear statement that reflects your design approaches and critical approaches to products in relation to contemporary matters. As you see, it's really the goal for us that you find your own identity as a designer, your positioning, and that guides you towards your professional future. I briefly also could name the competencies that you will acquire in the master program, which is really to conceptualize your master project, deepen the research in all fields, develop the capacity to verbalize and contextualize, critically reflect your approaches and positioning, the ability to design and manufacture a contemporary relevant collection. So that is also really the building up a 3D product, manufacture a product on a high level. A further capacity is also the affinity to create key imagery, the competence to present own work and bring forward its strength. And all together, you will acquire creative, analytical, and methodological skills for your professional future, of course. I think we're ready to now jump on what, as I mentioned before, is really a exceptional for HEAD, which are all the prizes and the support that HEAD provides. Might that be financial support? Might that be support in visibility, in collaborations with different companies, etc.? I hand over to Julie to elaborate that a little bit in detail.
Sorry, my microphone. Yes, so after the master, you have different perspectives, as said Christine. For instance, you spend 2 years developing your DNA and your own brand. So one of the key aspects of the presentation, one of the key aspects of the postmaster is to present your own work, your own DNA, your own collection to different, in order to gain a prize and maybe build your own brand, or just to get your work to be known by others. So there is different opportunities. You have the HEAD Fashion Show with the different prize, like the Firmenich Master Prize, the La Redoute and HEAD Prize, and also Eyes on Talent, which is a great website and can promote your work also online. So it's a good platform. Then we have other concours, a different way to promote your work and eventually win a prize and help you sustain your practice after the school, with the Festival de Hyères, the EATS Award, which is also an award linked towards sustainability. We also have the Swiss Design Award if you live in Switzerland or if you're Swiss. There's also the Prix Art Humanité Croix-Rouge, the Yinger Prize in China, the Prix LVMH, and also the Swiss Design Awards, which I already mentioned. You also have a possibility to have financial help from different foundation during the master, and also after, with different foundation like the Hans Wilsdorf Foundation, and different independent like the Fonds Cantonal d'Art Contemporain, and you can definitely show your work there and hopefully get some help financially. Then we have also on the next slide, we also have like the reality of the postmaster program is to get into an internship and get into the professional world by becoming a stylist assistant, or this is really depending on what you developed during your master. If you wanted to work in the knitting area, you can also ask internship there. The goal is to build yourself a really good portfolio in order to have the best opportunity afterwards. So yeah, the point is really to develop during your master a lab of experimentation, and then you can get into all those different areas such as styling, journalism, costume designer, set designer. You can really be versatile after the master, depending on your own also liking and what you developed during this master. So there's also a freedom about that. And then if you are lucky and if you feel like it, you can definitely build your own brand. We have a lot of alumni listed here who did their own brand, and they also we are lucky to have them close to the school, and we can see them on a daily basis and ask them question on how to build a brand or a business in Geneva. So it's nice, I guess.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Julie, for your insight. Indeed, I already jumped on this slide that sketches a little bit the future, the possible futures, so to say, after the master program. Our goal, of course, again, as I said before, is to guide you as young creatives into your professional future. And those can be different futures. They can be in fashion, accessory, jewelry, women's wear, men's wear. It can be knitwear, can be costume or set design, journalism, image creation, writing, for others or for your own brand. One strong recommendation I already would like to give here for people interested in the master program is really that gain experience yourself in order for you, or it's highly recommended at least, that you gain experiences, internships or other projects that you have done for you to know much better where you possibly might want to go in your professional future, and to really use the master platform to the best. All the people that come into the program, the connections that you can build up, the prices you can apply for, that you kind of have a compass already. I freestyle here and want to add something interesting I forgot before. During the master, sometimes during master 1, but mostly during the master 2, we do a voyage. We do a trip, an inspiration trip. This can be to Paris. It could also be to Milan. We already did an amazing trip in Switzerland as well. Just to go and research, to obviously meet other people, to go into archives, meet professionals at their studio, etc., etc. I very, very briefly now would like to speak in the name of the horlogerie, of the watchmaking. It is really a master program that is unique in Switzerland. As you know, Switzerland has quite a tradition in this profession, in this product also. Many people also applying to this master program have been enjoying education in Geneva or in other places in Switzerland, focusing on this watchmaking knowledge. That's why the class is an own class in itself, a small class, but interesting to hear. And I believe I can share that because it's quite exceptional that most, if not all people graduating from this master have jobs right away afterwards. Isn't it the most important point also to name here? How the program is built, of course, I guess that is very much about creation, but also about the knowledge of building, the 2D to 3D, the quality, the techniques, the whole communication around the product. The packaging, I believe, is much more important in watchmaking than in our class, I have to say. Which is an interesting point. And I believe watchmaking is also doing quite some market studies, market analysis, which goes then into marketing strategy, etc. Now, let me check the time. We're not bad in timing. And this is, I guess, a crucial moment of ending the presentation is really about the admission to this master program. You find all information on the website. I will summarize that on the last slide. Please check all questions in relation to the admission with the study office. I again name here the date until which you have to subscribe, which is the 3rd of April. And then the interviews are in May, beginning until mid-May. I give you a little bit of an insight on what we consider what is important. So the key points that we check at the profiles. Those are not the things you have to share in your application. All the points you have to share in your applications are very detailed, formulated at the head website. So here I just phrase a little bit what is important for us. So first of all, your motivation and your objectives, your goals. What drives you? Why do you want to do it? What and how? But first and foremost, the purpose. And also the goals after that. So your horizon, so to say. What drives you and what is your future horizon? Second point, of course, is the quality and your positioning as a designer, but also the innovation, the risk-taking, the creative risk-taking of your projects. Those can be projects of studies you have been done, bachelor or others. But also your personal culture, your curiosity, your interests, your specifications, really your personality, but your interest you want to deepen in this education system at head. But of course, also the capacity to reflect and to debate critically and to bring relevant arguments for your project. An important point is, of course, also the capacity to express orally or written during, well, in the application, but also during the interview. So here we summarize. Deadline to subscribe is the 3rd of April. Then there are 4 websites where which you definitely should check and gain better insight to the school head in its global, to the Department of Fashion and all the events also the department runs. So here you have, we named it from 1 to 4. Maybe you can take a screenshot, note it down so that you can check them yourself. That's also where you'll find the admission guidelines, again, in detail. Wonderful. We're at the last slide. I say merci beaucoup. J'espère à bientôt. But first of all, again, want again to thank Julie. I want to check the chat function since I actually couldn't follow
Yeah,
up.
I browsed on some question already, so maybe I can jump in.
Amazing.
So I saw some questions about the language. So as we said during the presentation, you can definitely, if you're fluent in English, but you don't speak French, you can definitely just speak English. We have, currently we have a Japanese and a Chinese student, which both didn't speak French at all when they first arrived 2 years ago. And someone asked a question about French courses, but there's no French courses inside the school, but there is in the university program. To be honest, I don't know much about this, but directly in the ed system, there's no French courses, but as you can speak English all the time, so it's fine. So yeah, that was the first point. Someone also asked about the knitting and weaving machine. Weaving machine, we have one, but it's particular. I wouldn't say we have a lot of weaving machine, but you can definitely bring your own. I mean, there is some, but I don't know what you mean by big or not. But we definitely have weaving workshops and knitting. You can also use it for your work, definitely.
Julie,
and yes.
Maybe I quickly jump in very briefly about this knitting and weaving machine question.
Yeah.
We have a room with knitting machines. It's dedicated to the bachelor, but of course available for the master also. So yes, we have an amazing old, massive weaving machine, but you know, in wood and everything, and you're open to use it. However, you need to understand, we are not equipped for a textile design course. We're also not equipped for, by the way, for others such as shoe design. But those are aspects such as, for example, knitwear, but also textile development or other products that you can then attack or activate in the form of collaborations. Why not? So it's not outside of the program, this possibility. However, we don't have all the infrastructure in-house. I hope we answered the questions. Then I try to follow up with other questions.
Yes, maybe we can say Yuri's question, which is I had tried a few projects on fashion design, but I realized it's not easy to establish my own brand. The most difficult is visibility of the brand. Also the business management part. I want to know if there's any support for students or business commercialization side. Yes, the fashion business.
So that's a very good point. Thank you for this question. First and foremost, generally speaking, because I don't know your project or your brand or your positioning, but first and foremost, the goal of this program is that you position yourself with the perspective of a possible business brand later, for example, that you position yourself as a designer. That, of course, includes the creative positioning, but also or market positioning. It also includes imagery creation that would then create your identity or campaigns or whatever. However, it's important to say that at this stage, Master 1 or no master, and also Master 2, we don't have big courses such as market analysis or specific support. But it's, of course, you have access to a lot of professionals. You have access to small courses, also courses that are shared with entire head. And what I want to share as a perspective into the future. It's not set up yet, but we're about to establish also a program that then will help alumni to orient themselves in the landscape of concours, competition, but also juridic support. How would you call support on law questions or business questions? But those will almost follow the master program in courses that you would then have to actively go towards. So we'll try to provide them, but then you would have to individually find the courses you are interested in after the master program as an alumni. I hope I answered your question. And there are more questions. Oh, there's another marketing question. Being very fond of marketing myself, I wonder how much we further and deepen our our knowledge in this area. Thank you, Annabelle. I see the name actually. So maybe we can make this separation. That other schools, when we look internationally, might it be in London or other bigger cities, they propose a fashion marketing course specifically. That's what that's not what we're doing. In the center of our program is really the design practice, which includes, well, it centers the product around the human being. And of course, it does look to the market. But you're trained to be a creative director, a designer, specialized in something, running your own brand, but you're not going out as a marketing specialist. However, it depends again how you approach it. But if you're most interested in marketing, but not in the product in itself, I'm not sure if you will be happy. So again, I don't know your profile. I hope I could give you a rough orientation.
Yeah, also I see questions about how many people are accepted. I guess it depends on the years, but it's always between 12 and 15. I don't know, Christine, if you can, or maybe a bit more.
Even a bit more, indeed. In the end, so we accept a bit, but it's about that number, 12 to 18 maybe. But the classes are solid classes from indeed 12 to 16 people, roughly.
Also, I see a lot of question about DN-made. Maybe I can give my own experience on this because I did BTS a long time ago, which was the former DN-made. And so, yeah, unfortunately, it's not like a bachelor. So before the master, I did the bachelor at Geneva. And you can, so it's also a great way to get to the master because the skills you get in bachelor will complement what you already did in France, and then you can get to the master, but it's unfortunately it's not possible to do it directly. Sorry. Yeah.
Thank you.
Also, I'm gonna link my Instagram in the chat, or it's just my name, so maybe you can see it if you have like personal question about your, maybe you can send me voice notes if you need to, like if you have like a very particular parkour, and maybe I can respond to it. I don't know, so feel free to send me any question if you don't find them now but you have them later also.
What a wonderful invitation. Thank you so much. I hope you're not going to be run over, but maybe, who knows, already
I'll do my best.
Friendships. I see another question from an anonymous person, and I'll read it out. Do you offer any course or support on manufacturing and product development for your own brand, including things such as sourcing materials, fabric, or technical design, tech packs? Okay, please try to consider this master program really as on a master level, which means, yes, you have certain courses on all levels: creation, image, theory, positioning, presentation, etc. And alongside to these courses, you need to work quite independently also on your project. So yes, there is technical support for pattern creation. This also includes manufacturing, and there is support also on sustainability questions, for example, focusing on sourcing materials and accessories you need for your product. However, there is not a regular course that teaches you how to do Illustrator or Photoshop or do a tech pack or something like that. This is more a bachelor level. So yes, there are courses, again, technical support in pattern making, constructing, or leather manufacturing also. There are crash courses. We do workshops also with people that introduce you to new techniques, such as the jewelry technique, lost wax technique, for example. But these are very short introductions, and then you as a master this student, you then need to bring it along. So I almost need to answer your question with a yes and no. Yes, there are courses, but there are not regular courses that actually build you up to a certain level. It's more to compensate, to solidify, to deepen, to specify, or etc. I hope I could answer to this question. Julie, do you have another question in the pipeline?
No, I think also there's a lot of question about financial help. I think it's really depends on your personal situation. So you may check at the websites of the Uni of Geneva, and on the ED website also you have indication, but it's hard to respond like this because it really depends on your financial situation.
There is financial support at the head, the big structure. There is also financial support indeed for each master student from our department.
Also, yeah.
It's quite a big amount. I don't want to say it now publicly, but it's quite a good amount. You need to prove the expenses, of course. However, we cannot respond now in detail since we don't know your individual situation. So yes, there's support, but then you would have to check it in detail and early enough. I would suggest best with the study office, who can provide you the information or guide you to the good person in our department.
Also, there's, I think you already kind of responded to this, but about courses about manufacturing and product development for your own brand.
These are
yes,
go
sure.
ahead if you want to
And
add.
yes, also just there's a lot of professional, as I said, professional former students who did their own brand. So you also can have, like, as we are not a lot of students, you can definitely just interact with them with personal question, and it's really personalized the way you want to be advised. So if you have question about this very specific manufacturing, which is not every student asks for this, you can definitely have personal guidance through this also.
Thank you, Julie. Yeah. Yes, I see a very simple question from Annabelle. She's asked for the first day of school. Actually, the semester, you see this information on the website. Please check it there. But the semester starts mid-September. So I don't know it by heart now, must be somewhere 14 to 16 or something, mid-September, but please, again, check the official website of HEAD. This is already announced.
And then there's a question, I'd like to know about school connection with the industry, school provider. About the job connection. no, the school connection to the industry, and the school provide job opportunities.
So I am happy to respond to this question, as we tried to elaborate before, that there is quite exceptional collaborations set up between the school and companies, different companies, which of course not only bring you experiences working with these companies and these teams, but also bring you a network. And of course, we strongly support our alumni with their job search afterwards. Might that be internships or junior jobs, or even afterwards? That's a whole network that is set up. We also circulate job offers. Sometimes we are asked from companies for recommendations. I just recently had a meeting with an HR person, and of course, so that's what, therefore I want to just clarify. So it's not the school looking or providing job or job offers, but there's a network put in place. But of course, it's you as a master student. However, I'd rather want to say as a young designer then to go towards these opportunities, build your profile, build your portfolio, and go towards these opportunities. Oh, one aspect I wanted to, I forgot to say, I wanted to mention, HEAD Geneva is since years very well connected also with the Festival de Hier in France, which is a platform for young talents. Also, we have talent scouts at our show, the fashion show, which we didn't really speak enough about it, I guess. Each year there's a fashion show. We, of course, have headhunters there, people from companies, journalists, etc. I hope we could
buyers.
Buyers, yes, thank you. Yeah.
Then there's a question about going back to Bachelor. I think you need to do admissions for Bachelor if you want to go back to the Bachelor. I think you can ask to do just a third year, but it really depends on your personal what you did before. So it's hard to respond.
For this question, I would refer directly to the experts at Bureau des études, Bureau d'admission, to check the conditions and the possibilities there.
And I think the last question we didn't ask is about jewelry, something. Il existe aussi un modèle master pur sans focalisation sur les sacs et les bijoux. Je crois que j'ai pas compris la question. If you want to focus really just on jewelry, it's totally possible. Like you're really free to work on whatever you need to. Either it's jewelry or jewelry and accessories, or just fashion. I mean, it's really
Thank
according
you
to your own.
Yeah, thank you again for this question. If we understand this question correctly, it is the question whether there is another master for jewelry in HEAD. No, at HEAD not. There is a specific bachelor for bijou, jewelry only, and there is a bachelor for fashion only. However, the master program is set together, and there you can indeed focus on fashion, on accessory, or on jewelry, or you have a slight mix. We had years that the majority of people were focusing on maybe not high jewelry, but like fashion jewelry. So there is an amazing, as we tried before to show you the picture, there's amazing jewelry studio that is set up for the bachelor, but is accessible for the master. So there is a good equipment for jewelry, indeed, at HEAD.
And I think that's it. Yeah. The questions.
There's one question in French which I didn't understand. Maybe Julie, you can help me. Le taux d'acceptation est-il élevé?
It's like how many people ask for the master and how many people are received. But I don't know how many ask for the master, so it's hard. Yes. It's just that there is approximately 15 students per class.
Yeah. Yes. Okay.
So yeah, it's a low number, but once you're in, it's really personalized, I guess. Yeah.
A great vibe, I would say. Yes. I'm checking the time. Oh wow, we have quite a good amount of time to exchange. Please feel free to share questions still with the Bureau d'Admission, with the study offices about admissions. You're also welcome to contact our department for further questions. And otherwise, I would say we're very much looking forward to your great portfolios, to your unique motivations and positionings. And we're looking forward to meet you in the interviews. Thank you very much for participating. Thank you, Julie, for being here.
Thank you.
And hope to see you soon.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.